Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Hope you had a good Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. The week is so early. We've got so much more time and room for activities. We're going to talk about mostly GameStop, the option plays, technical analysis, this divergence. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. I'm pretty hyped. I'm actually more hyped for today than I was yesterday. We have a Twitter you can follow us on at HappyMoneyYT, and we also have a Discord server. Link is in the description. Help yourself. Yeah, today I'm more hyped because we held. It wasn't as big of a day, 10% down to 8%, but we held. Look at this. This is amazing. I mean, we've got 30 minutes left into the close. Before we get super hyped on this, okay, hold on. SPY, new all-time highs. Yeah, yada, 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 no big deal. Actually, I haven't really looked at SPY again. It's probably a good time to go long. There's a nice little bull flag. We've got bullish MACD, green over the 9, setting up a nice consolidation up here. Whatever I said about back there, thinking it's double top, I don't think so. This thing, it has decided its trend. Excuse me, at least in the short term. I mean, the RSI is getting overbought now on the daily, so probably settled down. I mean, this could still be kind of a blow off the top type deal, but it definitely looks like it still. It's just so slow. Yeah, so that's not doing a whole lot. We do have other plays we'll talk about, but let's talk about GameStop really quick. We're at 4.3% on the day. This hourly chart, the price action looks beautiful, just grinding up this 9 moving average. Big volume candles, consolidation, big volume candles, consolidation, on and on and on. And then we look at our indicators, and some indicators can help us decide if there is going to be reversal. I saw this one kind of brewing, this RSI divergence. It wasn't here. I was like, okay, this is good. And then once this hour was starting to close, like, well, this could be. See, what happens is if the next hour here is higher, then this isn't the peak, so it's not a divergence. So you really have to wait for that whole hour to close, and then really the next one almost to close to start to get an idea of the divergence. So we started to get a divergence right here. This one was kind of this whole top. It wasn't just like a peak, but either one of these will work for the divergence. And you have one here. So I saw it here. I'm like, well, sometimes it needs 3 before it turns around instead of 2. And this was only our second one. Then I did this consolidation. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it still looks strong. The price action looks strong. And now here comes our third one. We had just this weird pop in this hour right here. Just dead volume. It was so good looking today though. Dead volume, but just hanging out mostly above VWAP. A couple dips below it. But I think the VWAP action on Weeble's a little weird. But to have super low volume and it just not being shorted all the way down, I think is awesome. They had this big spike in volume, big rally up, and that made our new high. And now it's kind of holding up here too. I mean, sometimes the divergences aren't right, and we could just keep rallying. But this is a third divergence now, just barely. That last, it just closed. I was just watching that last little spike pulled the RSI up enough on the hourly that it almost didn't diverge, but now this is 75.91 and this one's 76.39. So this one's slightly lower than that one. Actually, if you're going by my rule, if this hour rips, that won't be a divergence. Crap. I spoke too soon. So hard to know. Really have to wait for the next next 30 minutes into close. That really will be the decider if it's a divergence or if not. We haven't seen after hours move, so I'm not super thinking I have to hold calls or long calls overnight. Even though it's a nice safety, the RSI is kind of diverging down though, and it is still hot. So probably kind of I scaled out of stuff, and but I scaled into stuff. Did a lot of day trading today on it, and I was confident on the price action, and we'll go over that. We'll do it right now. Daily, this thing looks amazing. Look at this. Here's the top of our wedge. Boom, boom, boom. We broke out of it yesterday. And I was stoked on that. And then Dink from Discord is like, well, I like it to open and close outside the wedge. So today I believe we're gonna get that, unless we just plummet, which I don't think is gonna happen. We have it opening and closing in 30 minutes above this breakout trend line. So I think we are set to go crazy. Given there'll be some consolidation, there'll be some dropping, there'll be all of that. And I think maybe the next couple of days it'll be some consolidation. Maybe let's see, tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday, we'll see. Maybe end of Thursday, maybe Friday we'll make some new highs. I'm kind of looking for let's see here. Yeah, because right now this green is so overextended over that 9 moving average also. When it gets that far away, it just wants to kind of come back. Here was kind of an example, but not a great one. But once it gets too far away from it, it just wants to pull back. It's like a magnet. So you can kind of see it starting to pull just too far away now to where it needs to kind of consolidate. I think we're going to have support here at this, probably this 192 area. Probably somewhere around here. It seems low, but I think probably 200 first, and then maybe down to 192. Yeah, probably 200. Might just hold up at 200, not come back down to 192, but I think probably that 192. And this might be 2 weeks of stretching that I'm talking about until we kind of make another high. Might not even all happen this week. Once it starts moving fast, I get excited and think it's just going to keep moving fast. But oftentimes the consolidation and the downward, when it's in upward momentum, which we are now, the consolidation and downward are what takes so much time and makes it just slow down a lot. So all this move is relatively quick. So now it might just take time and slowly kind of consolidate and find a floor and then start to make new highs. So that might put us into next week. But at any rate, today was awesome. Broke out of that wedge, and I was looking back to try and see what price action looks like this, and I couldn't really find any specifically like this. And this is kind of close, but not really. But that I was glad I couldn't find anything like this. I want some new price action. I don't want the same. I want to get us out of the cycle. I don't want the cycle anymore. So if I'm not finding that same price action, to me that's a good thing. You know, there's not like similar candles that are lining up like they are the last 2 days, 3 days, just like this. And I think that's because we're breaking out of this wedge and up into, I don't know where the margin call territory is, but I think what we're looking for now is probably some consolidation and then see what happens at 230. It's possible we hit a resistance at 230 and then we're trading in this range, and then we just have this this kind of channel we're trading in. I would say maybe not quite that low, maybe like I guess like 160. I'd say that would be like about the bottom of the channel, and then the top would be kind of that 230. Might be a little lower, might be like 223. So we'll see. Right now we're kind of in it, and we're gonna rally up to here. Might consolidate here and then just keep going and do another rip up to, 350 and maybe beyond. Especially since we're out of this wedge, this could really be the beginning of the squeeze. Yesterday could have been the beginning, or the peak of the squeeze rather. I think the squeeze has been going on for like a year. But if we kind of hit resistance here and it starts to come down, then I think we'll probably just be trading this kind of bigger range here. I think we'll keep making higher lows as we continue to do. So you look at these lows are higher. I actually didn't even realize that. Yeah, so it'll probably be higher than that now that I think about it. It'll probably be something like that. Kind of on that low, 170-ish. Yeah, if I zoom out. Okay, yeah, so it'll be higher lows. I was gonna say that's a pretty big range. That makes more sense. So 175, I'd say. Based on that support right there, this one right here, kind of the bottom of that. Yeah. So maybe that kind of range up 230, 225, and then down to maybe like 175. We'll see though. If it trades in this range, we might be waiting another month of kind of consolidation around here before we rally again. And that will have broken us out of this whole kind of this whole trend we've been doing. That being said, the bottom of this wedge, it got deleted, but that I think on mine ends about here. Where was it? Like 11, I think. Right about here. So it's also possible if we just break out of that, we won't really trade in this range much. We'll just kind of keep going, and the big tell will be once we hit this 230. To me, it will be at least, or this resistance over here. Once we break through that, it's either going to pinch, I think, up to, I don't know, pinch up to 350, or it's the peak of the squeeze and we're off. You know, we're gonna go to 350. You're gonna keep going. We're gonna get up to 400. Keep going. 450. Keep going. 483. That'll be the last resistance. So once it breaks through that, I think we are on. But for now, shorter term, this is looking like it's setting up a divergence, so probably is going to settle down some. This morning, man, we were able to kill it on the trades. So on the short term, it's really scary. The thing's coming down. You're like, man, had that big rally yesterday. They love to short it. They're just going to bring this thing down. We're going to lose all our money. And that's when you just have to move out time frames. So this was this morning. We had the big rally yesterday, sold off into close, kind of held VWAP, and then just dumped into open. Like 4%, I think, into open, or after open. I actually had a line right here. Excuse me. Had a line right here drawn from... I just moved it. It's like 175. I should lock it. I had a line right there drawn from this. Yeah, these there they are. These resistances back here, that became new support. I thought maybe 190, 192, and it literally was right on it. Look, I'll put it at the bottom of today's price action. Look, right on those resistances. So I had it drawn from there already, and I was like, if it starts to hold here, then I think we're going to go. And it did. And right around here, I opened up a put credit spread, a big one. Big put credit spread here. I saw that it was starting to consolidate, and it was way oversold on the RSI. So I was like, all right, it's going to at least rally a little bit. Even if it comes down past this support, it's going to rally some first because this thing's way oversold. I opened up a big position, a little scary because it was at the money. It was like a 192. I'll show you what it was. And yeah, consolidated, started to rally a little bit. The thing came up like 30% just from it going from here to here because the sentiment changed so much. It was a put credit spread and premium collect. So once it was here, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then of course we just started to rally. And then I had all those calls from yesterday. I don't even know what we did. Oh yeah, here we are. It was a divergence, I'd say, starting to come down. I had calls yesterday, and I got debit spreads and then some calls, and I sold some. I actually sold out everything from this that expires this week and next week right here. So not to say I can't jump back in, but I'm learning as a trader, and diamond handing short dated options is cool because then you can say I got a 15,000% option play I want to show you, but it's not cool because then you say I've got 15,000 different option plays that expired worthless. So I'm just going to take some profits, and that's what I did. The divergence to me is a good sign too, as well as the high RSI. If the premiums just go crazy because it goes nuts, I can always do some debit spreads instead of just naked long calls. Let's look at the options. Ooh, today I am pumped on today, even though we have this divergence and it's probably going to settle down. You know where it's going to settle down, actually? It might be on this. Look where that puts it. 184. So on this downward trend line. It might. Probably not tomorrow. I think we're going to probably... if we're closing up there today. I think that 200 is probably going to be support. Yeah, probably that 200 support tomorrow, and then it'll probably even come back down further. 191, I think. I think we'll be back down there in the next few days at least. We will see though. Let me show you guys the options. I actually kind of want to close out of these shorts. So I had debit spreads, and so the short legs actually I left open because I figured it was going to come down. Didn't come down a whole lot yet, so maybe that'll be tomorrow. Not sure if I want to hold these short calls overnight though. So I've got 8 230 short calls. This is 2,600 in premium though, so I guess I could. The only issue is if there's news and it just goes crazy. So I'll probably close that. Let's show you performance. So 17,500 today on GameStop, and from the shares, it's only 5,900 from shares. This is what I'm stoked about. This is the trading part. So 5,800 of that is from shares. Right? Yeah, so over 10 grand in just the options from today. And I can show you right over here. It was put credit spreads, premium sells, calls, debit spreads. Started with this first one. This was at, let's see, 948. So you want to sell when it's exciting, buy when it's boring. So, and that goes for shorting too. So selling is shorting. So if you're selling premium, you want to sell it when it's exciting. 948. So I was right here. It's a little early, but right here on this candle, or right after it actually, 48. Like right around here, I sold this put credit spread. 182 and a half, 192 and a half put credit spread. I did 24 of them. This was like a $10,000 max profit and I think $11,000 max loss trade, but it was 192. So basically GME would have to close above 192 and a half by Friday. I could have kept it open. I actually closed it, but it was up 60%. I was like, I'm just going to close it. I can open up another one tomorrow once GME comes down and finds another support. So that was kind of the first big trade of the day for me, and that one worked out well. So I closed that one out. Let's see, is it? This is it. So I bought it back for $1.48 a contract. I opened it for $4.13 a contract, and I had 24 of them. I think that's, yeah, put vertical. Yep. Rocket. Here is a call debit spread. 250, 350 for next Friday. I opened up for 229. These didn't all work out. Some plays I actually took little losses on. I closed it for 285. That was a small gain on that one. Oh, you guys can't even see this. I'm sorry. Yeah, here's the put credit spread. 413. Opened it, closed it at 148. So that's what you want when you're shorting. You want to buy it back for cheaper than you sold it for, right? And then here's the call debit spread, 250, 350. So I bought the 250 calls, sold the 350 calls for next Friday in one trade, and then bought those, or opened that position up for 229, closed it out. It's kind of confusing because I went in and out a couple different times, and they changed the legs on it. At any rate, you can kind of see what was going on there. I was going to hold on to ones for next week, but I was like, I might as well close them if I think it's going to come down and consolidate for a bit. So I had 245 calls I closed, 230 calls. They were all up to some extent. There was one or two trades in there where I didn't do great, but yeah, you can see the profits. And this is realized minus the shares that were 5 grand or whatever. Yeah, 5,600. So yeah, it worked out today. It feels weird taking profits and not just being an idiot with it. And I like to feel weird, so it's good. So here's these short calls. I had these 230s mixed with some other long. I had 245s. Is that it? No. I had some long calls with this too. Maybe 225. And I basically closed out the 225s that were up 30%, and now I still have this short end leg of it. So as GME goes down, the short end is losing value, so I can buy it back for cheaper now, and I will do that as we come into close. Bunch of just nerdy TA for you guys today. I did do other stuff. Our play on SWBK, that was just a great lesson for all of you guys to never follow a YouTuber. I'm down 3,500 on it today. It's down 17%. I'm holding on for sure. I'm not gonna like sell it out or anything. Their vote did pass. It did go through, so that's actually good. It's bullish, and in typical SPAC fashion, it's going to sell off after the vote. Sometimes there's hype before the vote, and that I guess was just one day of hype, and then it sold off. After the vote, I guess oftentimes it sells off. There was a whole SPAC craze earlier this year, and I tried to take notes, and I guess they maybe I wrote the notes in Spanish, and I don't read Spanish. So it sold off after the vote. It should still climb back up. Well, potentially not, because they're planning on merging in 2 days actually, which is pretty quick, on a Thursday on the 4th. So it's possible it kind of hangs out in the $7-8 range till the merger, and then after the merger, all bets are off. It can go anywhere. They de-SPAC, this holding company or whatever gets their cut, or however it works, and then we're just waiting on Bird. The ticker changes to BRDS, I think, or BRD. And then we're waiting to hear financials from Bird and earnings and this and that, and then it'll just flow like a normal stock. I was hoping there was going to be tons of rallying before the vote, and then after the vote, I was hoping there was going to be rallying, but there wasn't. And 10 around that 10 area, 8 is around that 10 area, but it's lower than I thought it would be. I'm not concerned about it. I hope you guys didn't follow me on that, but I'm still stoked. I think this will easily 2 or 3x in the next, within a year, I'd say. Just because this company, fundamentally, I think they're doing a good job. I think they're the largest one in that space. Their numbers are good. They have some debt, but it's pretty typical with a company like that. So once it becomes Bird, we'll see. I might add it to my long term. For right now, it's just in the swing trade account. But yeah, that's SWBK. BRPM, they only had that like 1 day pump. That's the gamer phase clan. Expecting that to get some news at some point to hype it back up, hopefully. BLCN, kind of consolidating. The chart actually looks nice on it. This is one of the competition in a sense to Bird. They do like electric scooters, and they're trying to get into like the side-by-sides, like electric side-by-sides. But this chart looks pretty nice to me on the daily. 4 hour, little weird, but daily I think it looks nice. Broke new highs. It's kind of consolidating here. We've got bullish MACD. I think this thing is going to probably do pretty well. A lot of our other plays. Holy crap, there's all the GME stuff. I closed out a DWAC. That thing's rallying. Never filled the gap. Don't know what to do. I feel like it still will fill the gap, but the thing is it might be too high by Friday because it was a 69. There's an inverse head and shoulders right here. Shoulder, shoulder, head, inverse, and rallied. And I saw that coming. I even saw a little mini one right here. A little mini head, shoulders. I was like, oh boy, should have closed it sooner, but oh well. That's what I got for you guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Join us on Discord and watch Powell go burr. Tomorrow the FOMC is probably going to announce tapering, and the world's probably going to collapse. Hopefully you bought seeds. Peace out.